Hi friends, it's Allie here with the Turtle Trunk, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to crochet this cute little watermelon. If you're following along with the Pregnancy Progress Project, this is week 39 when baby weighs the same as a watermelon. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Now let's get started. For today's tutorial, you'll need medium weight yarn in the colors red or pink, green, and black, a 4mm or G hook, fiberfill stuffing, a yarn needle, scissors, and stitch marker, and optional supplies include two 12mm black safety eyes and black crochet thread. We're going to start with our pink or red yarn, and we're going to begin by making a magic circle. I'm going to chain one, and then for round one we're going to work 8 half double crochets inside of the circle. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And we're going to take the short tail end here and just pull that tight to close up that hole. So at the end of round 1, our total stitch count is at 8, and we're not going to be joining at the end of each round. We're just going to work the first stitch into the very first stitch of the last round. So you're going to want to have your stitch marker on hand. So for round 2, we are going to work 2 half double crochets into each stitch around. So starting in that very first one, I'm going to work 2 half double crochets. So that was 1 and 2. And I'm going to work 2 half double crochets into the next stitch, and 2 in the next, and I'm just going to work 2 half double crochets into each stitch around. And at the end of round 2, our stitch count is now at 16. For round 3, we're going to work 1 half double crochet into the first stitch. Oops. And then 2 half double crochets into the next stitch. I'm going to work 1 half double crochet into the next stitch, and then 2 half double crochets into the next stitch. We're going to repeat that all the way around for round 3. And at the end of round 3, our stitch count is now at 24. For round 4, we're going to work 1 half double crochet into the first stitch, 1 half double crochet into the second stitch, and 2 half double crochets into the third stitch. I'm going to do that again, so 1 half double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, and then 2 half double crochets into the next. And we're going to repeat that all the way around for round 4. So 1 half double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, and then 2 half double crochets into the next. At the end of round 4, our stitch count is now at 32. For round 5, we're going to work 1 half double crochet into the first stitch, 1 half double crochet into the second stitch, and 1 half double crochet into the third stitch, and then we're going to work 2 half double crochets into the fourth stitch. We're going to repeat that. 1 half double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches, and then 2 half double crochets into the next. We're going to repeat that all the way around for round 5. And at the end of round 5, our stitch count is now at 40. For round 6, we're going to work 1 half double crochet into the first stitch, 1 half double crochet into the second stitch, 1 half double crochet into the third stitch, and 1 half double crochet into the fourth stitch, and then into the fifth stitch, we're going to work 2 half double crochets. And we're going to repeat that. So 1 half double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches, and then 2 half double crochets in the next. Repeat that all the way around for round 6. And at the end of round 6, our total stitch count is now at 48. For round 7, we're going to work 1 half double crochet into the first stitch, 1 half double crochet into the second stitch, 1 half double crochet into the third stitch, 1 half double crochet into the fourth stitch, and 1 half double crochet into the fifth stitch, and then into the sixth stitch we're going to work 2 half double crochets. We're going to repeat that. So 1 half double crochet in each of the next 5 stitches, and then 2 half double crochets into the next stitch. We're going to repeat that all the way around for round 7. And at the end of round 7, our total stitch count is now at 56. For round 8, we're going to work 1 half double crochet in each of the next 6 stitches. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then we're going to work 2 half double crochets into the next stitch. We're going to repeat that all the way around. So that's 1 half double crochet in each of the next 6 stitches, and then 2 half double crochets in the next. And at the end of round 8, our total stitch count is now at 64. Now on to round 9. We're going to work 1 half double crochet in each of the first 7 stitches. So was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 2 half double crochets into the next stitch. And we're going to repeat that all the way around for round 9. So that's 1 half double crochet in each of the next 7 stitches, and then 2 half double crochets in the next. And at the end of round 9, our total stitch count is now at 72. And we're going to do just one more row with our pink here. So for round 10, we're going to work 1 half double crochet into each of the next 8 stitches. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and then we're going to do 2 half double crochets into the next stitch. And then we're going to repeat that all the way around for round 10. So 1 half double crochet in each of the next 8 stitches, and then 2 half double crochets in the next. And at the end of round 10, our total stitch count is now at 80. And now we're done with this, so I'm going to slip stitch into the next stitch, chain 1, and then tie off my yarn. Take my hook and just pull that up. And now I am going to put on the face. So I'm going to grab my safety eyes and their backings, and then my black crochet thread and a yarn needle. You can skip this step if you do not want to put a face on yours though. So I'm going to start by putting my eyes on. So how we're going to do this is we're going to have it folded in half, and then after this we're going to make a rind for it with our green. So our watermelon is going to be up this way. So this is going to be the top and this is going to be the bottom. So you want your face this way, and you can put it really wherever you want. I think I'm going to aim for the center here. So I usually put my eyes about 4 stitches apart or so. So I'm just going to put those in. And then I'm going to wait to put their backings on until I do the mouth. So we're going to try that. I'm going to grab my black crochet thread and a yarn needle. And then I always just make a little V shape right between the eyes. So I'm going to go through the back and beside one of the eyes, and then down one round, and then back up beside the other eye, and then back down again. So that seems pretty centered, so I'm happy with that. So I'm just going to turn this the other way, tie up my thread, making sure not to tie it too tight, because if you pull on the thread too much, it'll hide in between the stitches. So just keep it fairly loose and just tie a couple secure knots. I'm going to cut off some of this excess thread. And then I'm going to grab the backings to my safety eyes and just pop those on. Okay. So now that we have our face on, I'm now going to add the seeds for my watermelon. So I'm going to take that little bit of black yarn that we have and thread that through my yarn needle. And then what I'm going to do is just stitch going through the back and just up one round and back down through. Get all that thread just like that. So that's how I'm going to create all of my seeds. I'm just going to do that, and I'm going to work in a circle all the way around, and just it's going to be very random. I'm leaving about a 2 to 3 inch tail at the back so that I can tie that in after. So I'm just going to kind of randomly go around in a circle, making all these little seeds. Okay, so I have made it all the way around, and I had brought the end to meet up with the other one, so I'm just going to tie that in a knot. And then this is just going to be hidden on the inside. So I'm going to cut off the excess yarn. So there we go. Now we're just going to set this aside and move on to our rind. So you're going to want to grab your green yarn and your hook again. So now working with our green yarn, I'm going to begin by making a slip knot. And then I'm going to chain 2. Working into the second chain from the hook, I am going to work 1 single crochet, and that's round 1. So at the end of round 1 we have 1 stitch, chain 1 and turn. Now working back into that stitch, I'm going to work 2 single crochets, so at the end of round 2 our stitch count is at 2, chain 1 and turn. I'm going to work 2 single crochets into each stitch. So that's 1 and 2 into the first, and then another 2 into the second stitch. So at the end of row 3, our stitch count is now at 4. Chain 1 and turn. For rows 4 all the way to 38, we're just going to work 1 single crochet into each stitch across for a total of 4 single crochets across. So this is row 4, and we're just going to repeat this all the way to the end of row 38. So single crochet in each stitch across, chain 1 and turn, and repeat 1 single crochet into each stitch across. I'm going to repeat that all the way to the end of row 38. So I just finished row 38, And this is what it's looking like now. And now we are going to chain 1 and turn. For row 39, we are going to single crochet 2 together, and then single crochet 2 together again in the last 2 stitches. So for row 39, our stitch count is now at 2. Chain 1 and turn. For row 40, we're going to single crochet 2 together. Now our stitch count is at 1, and we have 40 rows, and this is what this looks like. So we are not going to tie off. We're going to keep our hook attached, and we're going to grab the other part of our watermelon like this. You're going to fold it in half. You want to make sure your face is centered. And what we're going to do is attach these 2 pieces together. So I'm just going to chain 1 on here, and then it's going to go around like this. So to attach, we are going to be working in each of the rows down the rind part, and then each of the stitches around the watermelon. So there are 40 rows, and then there's 80 rows all the way around, meaning there's 40 stitches, on each half of the watermelon. So we are going to work into the very first row of our rind part and into one of the stitches right in the top corner here, and we're just going to single crochet them together. So single crochet those 2 together, and we're just going to work all the way down and around here and then back across the other. So we should have a total of 80 stitches all the way around when we're done. So I'm just going to continue all the way around, working into the next row of the rind and then into the next stitch of that part. And we're just going to keep going all the way around, working 1 single crochet into each. So I'm just coming up to the last few stitches on this one side. Okay, so I made it halfway across, like so. So now I'm just going to continue. I'm just going to hide that tail end right on the inside there. So now I'm just going to turn it around. And now working on the opposite side of my rind here and the other side of the watermelon, I'm just going to continue on working 1 single crochet into each row and stitch. And so I'm just going to continue on, and I'm going to stop about halfway to 3/4 of the way and then stuff it with my fiberfill stuffing. So I'm just going to continue on, and I'll catch up with you guys when we're ready to stuff. So I have a small hole left here, so I'm going to stop now so that I can fill this in with my stuffing before it closes up too much. So I'm just going to grab a couple handfuls. Now the more you stuff this, the stiffer it will be. The less you stuff it, the squishier it will be. So it's really up to you on how much you want to add. I think I'm going to leave mine like that, and so I'm going to continue on. Only have a couple more stitches left. So when you get back to the beginning, I'm just going to end with a slip stitch. Oops. and with a slip stitch, chain 1. And then I'm going to tie off my yarn, leaving a couple inches, enough so I can weave it in a little bit. And pull that out. So I'm going to grab my yarn needle, weave this in a little bit, and then you can just hide your tail end on the inside. And then you can just squish it around so you get your stuffing where you want it. And there we go, there's our little watermelon. Thank you so much for following along, and I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, I'd love to have you a part of the Turtle Trunk family. You can find this pattern and many more free patterns on my blog, whoshomemade.com, and be sure to follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and tag me in your photos so I can see your finished turtle trunk creations. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.